Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today, and we are back in a +18 Shadowmoon burial ground in a week of DK. Now, my DK, as I said in the last video, has kind of got a bit stacked. During this, I think it was 400 eye level, 4 set, all that good stuff, and yeah, we're just working basically on Valor score increases, all that good stuff. Yeah, we've gone in already, and in this group we've got the Shadow Priest that was in the Knockhood run. So I think he's 404 eye level. We had a 414 or 411 Warlock, so the Warlock was pretty good. And then we have a Resto Shami and Guardian Druid. So my goal in this is pretty much to compete with the Shadow Priest. Obviously a 411. I think it was either 411 or 414, but a lot better geared than me anyway. Warlock. We wanted to make sure that I could try and compete with him, but I have a feeling that I was just going to get violated by him. Yeah, we wanted to try and do that. Now we are kiting these ads a little bit, so I want to commentate just a little bit as to what we're doing and some of the mechanics and things like that. Now I go in here, I used Army of the Dead on an earlier pull, actually like the second pull of the dungeon. Thinking I could get it mostly back off. I was a little bit short on the timer, so I don't have it back up for the initial pull. I probably should have saved it on a tyrannical week, but you live and learn, right? Switch to the ad, get it killed, happy days. Now we're going to switch back to the boss, and ideally you want to try and bait all the spears onto one side of the room. We weren't very good at it with this group, but hey, it is what it is. It's not too much of an issue now. Just going into my army phase now, pop a load of cooldowns, and let's see if we can start catching people up single target. Shadow Priest is pumped. The Warlock is absolutely pumping. But you can see now that I've got my cooldowns rolling, we are starting to catch people up. I did also say to the group that during that kind of ad phase, when all my cooldowns were up, I wasn't going to be helping. It's one of those things that I've got every cooldown up. It's so much of a DPS waste for me to switch targets right now. But other than that, actually a really clean kill so far. 5 minutes into the dungeon, we've already got the first boss dead. And yeah, Tank asked me, can you grip the farm mob in? Not a problem. Everything else happened to get kicked at the same time as well. It wasn't intentional, but it is what it is. So we pop a load of cooldowns and we start going nuts, cleaving everything down and all that good stuff. Lots of kicks, lots of interrupts, but actually really, really clean. Now I said to the tank again, I've got grips, and this is where Unholy DK utility, or just DK utility in general, is so nice. Just getting these packs all grouped together. I actually didn't have another interrupt here, which is sad because it would have been nice to group them up earlier, but it is what it is. My DPS suffered just a little bit because I was trying to help group people up, but ultimately it's not too much of an issue. We are top overall at the moment, so yeah, let's see how long we can keep that going. Nice little skip here, get round, and this boss, I hate this boss on Tyrannical because the soul phase just does so much damage. But nice and clean to start off with. Frontal on the tank, we can make sure we don't get hit by that. Obviously, standing on the opposite side to my pet for Dark Transformation. We can stand in this with my AMS. However, I probably should have saved AMS for the soul phase. You can see my health is going crazy down here during the soul phase to a point I'm having to death strike. Now, I've popped everything with the 40% damage buff just to see how much damage we could get through here, and we are overtaking the Warlock in that phase, so you can see just how much damage we are kicking out there. 20% health left. We were debating whether we go and pull the ad. So I mentioned it in the video. If you pull the rune on the right-hand side just before the boss dies, you can actually trigger it so that it despawns when the boss dies. It is linked to the other pack, so you will always pull it no matter what. Now, I killed the soul here, but stuck in the realm for some reason. I'm not taking damage, but I am stuck, which it's not ideal. Mistimed the rune a little bit, so not a problem. Into this next pack, and for some reason we immediately kicked everything again. So I'm just going to go into this pack with the mindset of just trying to do as much damage as possible. Now you can look at the damage meter and realize that it takes some time for us to ramp up. And when you had, I mean, the Shadow Priest is pulling absurd numbers here. Just everything's dying just a little bit too quick for me to ramp up, which is not great. And it's not like it's a small key either. In 18 Shadowmoon Burial Grounds, you'd hope that mobs live long enough for me to ramp. I'm hoping that next week with Fortified, we're going to have a great old time. But yeah, so next week, we've already hit 2K. We've got 2 dungeons, 3 dungeons left to do at 16 this week to get everything timed at 16 or higher. One is already done at 16, it just wasn't timed, just ever so slightly out of time. So yeah, get that done this week, and then next week we're going to push to try and get as much timed on a 16 as possible. We should get a very easy 2.4k rating next week. Whether we get to 2.5 or not is questionable. Now next week it is, I think it's bursting raging or something like that. I don't know, but I know it's raging definitely. Well, but we actually deal with raging quite well as an unholy DK, or certainly DK in general, because our death and decay slows so substantially. It is a 90% slow when you first apply it that decreases by 10% per second. So what you can do is just drop it on the floor as they start enraging, let your tank run away and either pull the next pack or whatever, and gives you a lot of time. And yeah, it's almost like glue when you drop it. You just see mobs completely stop. It's really nice though, to be fair. So burning down this last worm here, and this next boss, I have no idea what was going on. So this next boss is renowned for being a little bit of a pain, just because it's got quite a lot of health. It's jumping in and out of vulnerability phases. It has the breath, all of this different stuff. But like, it just decided it didn't want to do things for a little while. So he does his first fetid spit. I believe he's supposed to do one more, and then he goes into his inhale normally. So that's his second spit. Normally, we'd expect his inhale already happening. It hasn't. He's done another spit, another slam. Bear in mind, at this point, the other ads haven't spawned. And there's his first inhale. It actually caught us off guard because we're like, it's 50% health on Tyrannical before it did an inhale. Our DPS isn't that good. But with it being so low health before we even decided, and it still hasn't gone down, by the way, which is strange. We decided just to bully the boss and keep going, really, because why not? So I popped my army, going to try and catch up to the other two on damage. And this is it. If you don't have army on pull, that kind of initial burst comes later in the fight, and it feels a lot worse. I got hit with a volcanic there, which was frustrating. You can't see it with the big dumb worm head. So sometimes you just can't help but get hit. I suppose you could move just every couple of seconds around the circle, but yeah, it is what it is. So again, we've completely ignored the ads. I do pad on them a little bit. I'll be honest, there's no benefit to what I'm doing right now other than trying to basically cheese DPS. Second to last pack here, and again, going to make sure that the spiders are interrupted, everything's gripped in, get them epidemics rolling, and you can see the other two already pulling over, or certainly the warlock pulling over 100k health. It takes DPS. It takes so much time for me to catch up and start pumping, but by the end of it, we're third, so we will get there. But yeah, obviously, I suppose with Festamite as well, the more gear I get, I probably scale very well as an unholy DK because more strength means more percentage strength further on. So potentially that is something that I need to look out for. That actually I could things will probably get much better as I get into like the 400 teen levels. So going into the last boss here, I have everything up for this last boss, and I already know I've said to the group I'm doing nothing else. I'm just pumping here. And you can see already, just look at the difference between me, the Warlock, and the Priest. Like 115k DPS, I think I hit 120k at one point, and this is at 400 eye level. It's going to get so much better. Now, a little bit of pad in there on the ads. I looked at this and was like, everyone's really, really close overall, and I want to be top because I'm competitive. So I've really got to push myself on this boss to do that. Now, at this point, I'm like a million damage ahead of the Warlock, and but I know that the Warlock's sustain damage is going to be much higher. He also has Havoc, which means every time a wall comes up, he's going to be able to multi-target cleave. So I was trying to multi-target cleave as much as I could as well, but his is obviously better. And we are just going to keep trying to pump here. Boss is at 25% health. I'm not sure why I did a really early clear then. But yeah, I mean, just there's really nothing much going on here. It's just a really, really clean run. Solid 2 chest on a plus 18. I mean, plenty of time left as well. This is such a lenient key for time that honestly, it's just crazy. But one big thing did happen here, and that is we actually got our bracers, which is our last piece that we really needed to farm. So yeah, 60k overall and some bracers. Happy days. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Bye.